Okay. All right. Shalom, everyone. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Islam to all the Moors. So let's pick it back up. Um, ah, Welcome to the free astrotheology course. I am Dr. Yasapa. This is the free astrotheology course. This is our textbook, everyone. Um, the Astrology of the Old Testament. The Lost Word Regained, published in 1892, and the author is Carl Anderson. Okay, so the reference to astrology here has nothing to do with uh, anything evil or wicked. This has to do with nature, bodies, natural phenomena, and their magnetic effect on all things physical, including consciousness. Okay. And so it says the astrology of the Old Testament, indicating that this science is memorialized in the Old Testament. So if you talk about the Old Testament, you must talk about the book of the law, period. Hold on. You must talk about the book of the law because the entire Old Testament, according to the story, has its origin in the book of the law. Does everyone see that? And then also the New Testament, okay, has its origin, its authority coming from the book of the law. I hope it's clear. So it says here in the title, the astrology of the Old Testament, or the lost word regained. The lost word regained, meaning that astrology has been hidden from the masses of mankind. Not mankind, but, well, actually the masses of men and mankind. Let me correct myself. Okay? So it is the lost word. You can associate that with John chapter 1, if you like. All right? So the lost word is nature and natural phenomena. That's the lost word. Nature and natural phenomena, and how we have to live consistent or in harmony with, rhythmically with nature. Natural phenomena, and of course, natural laws. So this relationship has been uncoupled, disrupted. All right. So we can look at our electronic devices, for example. Let me go to YouTube. Y'all give me a second. We can look at our electronic devices. We can think about our modes of conveyance. Okay. So for example, we look at this device. This device started off as an idea in someone's mind, and then using nature and natural laws, science, various sciences, engineering, and of course, the substance, the materials which come from the earth or are a what? A byproduct of some chemical process or some type of process. All of that was used to make this device, your mode of conveyance slash automobile, your house, your watch, okay, anything. Okay, so that's what the topic is. This is about science and only science, all right? At the most fundamental level, all right? So I hope y'all like this new venue that I'm in. It's kind of far from my place. But here I is. Y'all know what I miss? Being overseas so long. Sometimes I miss what they call ebonics. Sometimes I miss it, you know, the rhythm and the flow of it, the creativity of it. Um, and then I also miss, sometimes I miss, you know, the way those old ladies, when you go in the hood, like in the hood, near the projects and all of that stuff, you go where the church people are, and those old ladies are in the restaurants. You go in the morning and you get the grits. I could never make grits the way those old ladies make grits. They make the best breakfast food, and I really miss that. The best eggs. I don't know how they do it, how they make it taste so good. But you would never get that in any other country. Trust me, you'll never get anything close to it. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so let's pick it back up. Page 165. I have to kind of hold my voice down because there are other people here. So I hope y'all can hear me. All right, page 165. So we're still dealing with Mercury. By the way, Mercury governs Wednesday, the first hour of Sunday, and the 8th hour of Sunday. Mercury's friends are Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. Isn't that interesting? His enemies are all other planets. Wow. Okay. Let's continue. The directionary movements are all explained for each planet in my table of the wisdom of Isis. The table, the wisdom of Isis. Of course, Isis, y'all, it can be the moon or Venus, or the movement, and also the serpent woman. Okay, the serpent woman. We referenced the serpent. I think I think it was last class we talked about the serpent. I don't know if it was the serpent or the serpent woman. But definitely we talked about the serpent woman a few times over the last 4 or 5 classes, last 4 or 5 live streams. All right. And actually page 160. Page 160. This is worth remembering. So if you have the book or the PDF, go to page 160. This is the first paragraph at the top. It says the Hebrew, of course, this is biblical Hebrew, y'all. So I missed that. You know, the whole y'all and he be and they be. These are things, you know, the I be doing this and he be doing that. That was something that we were mocked for when, at least the time I was coming up. Um, the hybrids would mock us, and they would also mock us in school because I don't even know if people still speak like that, but that was Ebonics, you know, when I was in the going through K through 12. But it turns out that in the ancient Ibaryath, or ancient Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew, Canaanite, Phoenician Canaanite, however you want to call it, it turns out that IB means I am. It turns out that IB is rendered as I am. Let me say it again. It turns out that IB that I am is literally IB. So the text is actually IB, I exist. And it's rendered as I am. How about that? Is that genetic memory, scholars? Is it genetic memory? Well, let's take it a little bit further. I be, I am. Exodus chapter 3. Right? That's what should come to your mind. But also think about the Ta cross. Can y'all see that? That our ancestors They would, we find them in icons like this. This is the top cross, okay? The Kemetic top cross. You see the pharaohs or their hands. I watched a video with this famous guy who teaches on this topic. No, it was Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. It was Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. An interview. He said that in South America they found sculptures. What's the word for? I forgot. It'll come to me. But with the Egyptian holding their hands like this, their arms like this, and their fingers out. So y'all know what the fingers out means. That represents the sun rays emanating from the sun. Okay? So this is the top cross. Okay, and what's in the intersection of the two lines? What's there? The S-U-N sun, which is the S-O-N sun. Okay, it is the unchangeable, the unchanging, immovable. S-U-N sun, it is the Father between the cherubim, the head of a bull, right? Apis the bull, the head of a bull. The head of a lion, Leo, the zodiac sign Leo. The bull is the zodiac sign Taurus. Okay, y'all? The head of a lion, right? JC, the lion of the tribe of Judah. The head of a eagle, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is the zodiac sign of the genitals, or those organs that are responsible for reproduction. Y'all see it? Those organs that are responsible for providing the next generation, and the next generation. Y'all see it? Okay, and then of course, Aquarius, the head of a man. And this is the what, y'all? In the center, again, is the sun. It's the blazing sun. It's the Father between the cherubs. I be, I exist. I am. The great I am that does evil and good. It is the Son of the Sun. Y'all see it? It is the S-O-N of the S-U-N. Anyway, I thought that that made an impression on me to put two and two together. But there you are for an example of genetic memory, showing you who you are. And it can go even further than that. So page 160, let me just take you through this and then we'll go back to where we're going to begin. So we can have, so page 160. So the Hebrew, so now, of course, this is biblical Hebrew that they're going to give us. Shish, an abbreviation of Ish, the star of birth. The star of birth, being, or existence. This is I be, I exist. Y'all see it? Rendered in English today, in modern times, as I am. So we could say the star of I am, the star of birth, the star of regeneration, the star of the ongoing, the source of ongoing generations, okay? So the star of birth, being, or existence is equivalent to the number 6. Venus rules the 6th day. Now, isn't that interesting? Venus is said to be the star of birth, the star of being, or of existence. Venus. The great I am is supposed to be masculine. Do y'all see it? Venus obviously is feminine. Well, this is not talking about gender. Gender are designations for animals, male and female. Those are designations for animals. So what's happening here? This is masculine energy and feminine energy. Okay, so you can relate that to the Hermetic law of gender or the Hermetic law of mental gender. So when remember the first Hermetic law is all is mind. The universe exists in the mind. So when something is formed, in every case without exception, there is always masculine and feminine energy involved in that formation. Okay? Now, of course, I'm talking about things that are natural, not hybrids, because these are formed in laboratories. So obviously there would be an imbalance in that. Okay? Obviously there'd be an imbalance in that. Oh, by the way, since we're speaking of deity, which Hermetic law, in your opinion, which Hermetic law, let me check for comments, y'all. Which Hermetic law let me rephrase it. Deities, so-called gods, they are a remix of which Hermetic law, in your opinion? Think about that for a minute. Think about that. In other words, which Hermetic law has been hijacked or scandalized, repackaged, and presented to us as gods or deities? So you must remember that God is not ancient. It's not ancient Ibaryath. It is a modern term that was inserted into the records, into the book of the law, into the New Testament, into the Old Testament. It's an insertion. All right? In fact, it's a very toxic insertion because it totally disorients you, completely disorients you. What do I mean by that? So it's the catalyst to get you to focus on an outside being or someone outside of yourself to save yourself, to create the situation and circumstances and relationships with people. See, it takes that away from you, which is where it actually exists, and tricks you into thinking that an external deity has to do that for you and you have no control over that, when actually the reverse or the opposite is true. And there you have the great law of opposites, okay, that's being used against you. The Hermetic law of opposites is being used against you, okay? So, in my opinion, the Hermetic law that has been scandalized, repackaged, and presented to us as deities is the law of cause and effect. Is the law of cause and effect. Look, my rationale is this, y'all. In the religions, you have to do this and you have to do that. If you don't, there's a negative consequence, right? You burn in hell. Or there's a positive consequence. You go to heaven. You die and go to heaven. So that relationship is based on fear. No matter what anyone says to you, that relationship is based on fear. The fear is based on the consequence of not doing what the deity tells you to do, which in fact, in practice, in practice is you going against the priesthood, the priestcraft, because the priestcraft is the mouthpiece of the deity, is the go-between, is the Mercury, is the messenger, is the uh, Messiah, uh, Messiah. Okay, y'all remember that? All right, everybody see it? I don't know if y'all agree with me, but that's where my thinking is. So again, our goal is to relate the Hermetic laws to astrology because that's nature and natural phenomena. And then to be able to see it, to recognize it in the doctrine, in the doctrines of any of these scriptures, holy books. Now, holy, of course, means sunny, right? Holy means sunny. The etymology of holy simply means sunny, like sunshine. And glory just means a bright, sunny day. You know, the sun shining clearly, right? So Mercury is in the bosom of the Father, overwhelmed by the glory of the Father. JC is in the bosom of the Father, overwhelmed by his glory. Moses' face shone, right? Moses' face shone or was glorified, however they render it, or Moses had horns. Okay, so that's the goal, because now um, we not only can list uh, the Hermetic laws, but we can also analyze them and find them, recognize them. That's actually the most important, to be able to recognize. When you can recognize those laws, then you have a better opportunity to be able to use them. And that's the point, to be able to use them, right? Because remember, the goal is to be able to observe nature and then use nature to create the environment, situation, and circumstances that we want in our life, right? We're the great I am. Everybody see it? All right. So that's the goal. That's the goal. So the way to transmute is to use higher laws against lesser laws. But you can never do that if you cannot recognize the laws. Okay, so you'd have to know what those laws are, the profile or the characteristics of each of the laws. Okay, so we're dealing with science, law, civics included in that. Okay, so let's go to page 166. Of course, I'm not saying I know everything. You know, I could very well be wrong. Okay, I could be, but y'all share your thoughts with me. And if you can add to that understanding, let me know. In fact, you're welcome to come on as a guest and present your information. I mean, that would be great. All right. So page 165, rather, 165. The directionary movements are we're talking about Mercury, the messenger of the connotatively speaking gods. Y'all see that? So if we strike out this word God, which really means Odin, Woden, Sirius, the dog star, an anagram of dog, I mean, all of that. If we remove that, how do we then render? How do we render that verse? How do we render God? Capitalized or in lowercase? Think. right? Think, 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 think. The directionary movements. See, this is the psyop that has been uh, inflicted on you, Morris. See, your self-image, your knowledge of who you are, like like the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. He said, "Just be yourself." Well, first you got to know who you is before you can ever think about being yourself, right? And that takes you back into the Hermetic law of gender, mental gender, right? Specifically, masculine mental energy. Okay, the great I am that does evil and good, that never changes, uh, that's eternal, wasn't subject to birth, wasn't subject to death, always is, always was, and always will be, and is in the now. And of course, your feminine mental energy, uh, you can is best is best understood as relating it to your subconscious mind, which is responsible for your growth and development, or your lack of growth and development, and you're going backwards. All of that is happening at the what? At the will of the Father. See, the Holy Spirit activates at the will of the Father. So Adriana writes, Assalamu alaikum, Islam, Dr. Yasapa, greetings of peace today. Tuning in, peace. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Really, really good to see you. Every time I get a message from you, I feel happy. And that's a true statement. That is a true statement. You're always so encouraging to me. Okay, y'all. So let's continue. So this wisdom of Isis, that's the serpent woman, that's going back to Venus. Venus having a a I don't know how to say it. Venus having uh, a role. Ashish, the star of birth, being, or existence, similar to the father. So y'all see it, masculine and feminine energy together. Okay, y'all? Or working together. Okay, now it continues. Or the movement in moon's node, MOON apostrophe S, node or serpent. I got to read that again. The directionary movements are all explained for each planet in my table of the wisdom of Isis, or the movement in the moon's node or serpent. Okay. All right. So that movement has to do with the moon. The moon's node or serpent. So moon's node means serpent as far as I can see right now. The cardinal number 4, or, y'all, some of these I can't, I really can't, the book binding is so tight I can't see some of it, but I'll do the best I can. It's just this one paragraph. Okay, so the cardinal number 4, or arabo, uh, from light, and rabo, busy. I'm going to show this. Employed, uh, acting relates especially to Mercury as ruler of the 4th day, or day of Mercury, which is uh, Mech Ready, which is Woden's day. See, Woden, Odin, Wood, which is Woden's day, or Wednesday. So let me show y'all this. Now remember, those of you who may not know, these pictographs, this is Biblical Hebrew, which is actually a made-up language. This is not ancient Ibaryath. See, and you can identify that because there are no dots and dashes. So when you see the Hebrew, or when you see these characters without dots and dashes, it's Biblical Hebrew. When they have dots and dashes, it's modern Hebrew. Now that's my opinion. That's my opinion, because you'll be able to look in some Jewish texts and you'll see dots and dashes. But the dots and dashes did not come into existence until shortly after Babylonian captivity. Okay? So if that's the case, how could anything that was said or done or recorded have used dots and dashes, or the Naku system? Okay? So anyway, you should note the difference between what's the best way to explain this? Between numbers, like, I have one glass, I have two glasses. And first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay? Ninth and 10th, so on and so forth. So Arabu, from light, and Rabu, from busy, employed. All right. So what is this referencing? This is Mercury. This is Mercury being the planet closest to the sun, in the bosom of the Father, right? In the bosom of the Father, overwhelmed with the glory of God. Right? This is Jesus, the messenger, overwhelmed with the glory of God. Busy doing the work of the Father, busy in his ministry, relaying the message. The kingdom has come. Repent, the kingdom has come, or the kingdom rather is at hand or is near, however it's written in whatever you're reading. All right. So Mercury is Wooden. Let me show you. Do y'all see Wooden? And this is where the notion that Mercury is thought comes in. Everybody see that? See Wooden's day. So delete the prefix DA, Y, or SDAY, and you're left with Wooden. Let me show you. Does everybody see that? Look at my finger. Oh, this wide camera is really, this wide. I don't like this this camera, the way it appears here on StreamYard. All right, so let's see if I can do it this way. Do y'all see that, Wooden? Everybody see that? Okay. So this is telling us we need to go back to using what? The first day, the second day, the third day, okay? Instead of this religious paradigm that they have us in. Okay, I want to show y'all Buddha. So remember, as we go through this, thought, we get our modern word thought. It derives from thought, the Kemetic deity. Hope everyone sees that. So Woden is the god of the Saxons. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, so here we are. I don't know what website this is, but y'all take a look at. Y'all take a look at that. Can y'all see that? So it makes it hard for me to orient the camera. Hold on. The wide screen makes it hard for me to see what the image looks like. Can y'all see that? Everybody see it? Okay. So thought, our English word for thought derives from thought. Of course, thought is mind. The first Hermetic law, all is mind. Okay? So this is a perversion. This is a perversion of the first Hermetic law. This notion that Woden, remember, the Father and the Son are one. If you saw the Son, you saw the Father. If you've seen the Son, you've seen the Father. The Father and I are one. Okay? Does everyone see that? Thought is a perversion of the first Hermetic law. Woden is a perversion of the first Hermetic law. Okay. Okay, let me see. Anything else? So here's Fridge. This is Odin's wife. So I think I covered this in earlier classes, but you can do some more research on this. Hold on, give me 1 second. So Fridge's day, of course, is Friday, right? Y'all take a look at that. Okay, so this is Thrower, Odin and Fridge's son. All right. But anyway, it goes on and on and on. I'll show you the website that I'm at. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So these are Norse deities. So let me show you some images now. Hold on again. All right, y'all. So this is who you're calling on when you pray. All right? When your focus is outside of yourself, an external deity, you're talking about God. Well, here he is. Here's your God, oh Israel. Everybody see that? Okay. Let's see if we can find something else. And y'all don't just blow this off, okay? Give us some serious thought. I mean, I know this is more like it. Hold on. Yeah, that's more like it. So that's the more traditional Odin. You used to be able to find this image and images like it very easily. See, this is Odin. This is Woden. Woden, Odin, the dramatic deity from the Middle Ages. And God is the modern spelling of Odin and Woden, okay? It's the modern spelling of Odin and Woden. So when you call on this entity, God, you're calling on Odin and Woden. So you've been intentionally misled. Or to use stronger language, you've been intentionally lied to. All right? Ah, Wada. Look at Wada. There you are. There's Wada. Hold on. Ah, how did that happen? Hold on, y'all. So Wada is a giant. So take a look here. Here's Wada. All right? There you are. Well, I think that's enough. So now, y'all tell me if it's not clear that these are the beings who conquered you and who have you in prison camps, who have you in debt bondage. Who's making your life miserable, who stole your birthright, who stole your nationality. And then here they are, they have you praying to this deity. Now this is a more common image of Woden, of Odin, whose modern day name is God. The spelling has changed again, God, here it is. This is who you're praying to. This is who y'all praying to. All right? So instead of diving in to yourself, your own consciousness, your own mind, going into the workshop of your own mind, getting into the alpha state, and then creating by diving in to your own consciousness, by expressing your divinity, that you are in fact the great I am, that you are what? That blazing fire between the cherubim, okay? Enforcing the Constitution, enforcing natural law, common law when needed, doing evil, and also doing good. Okay, so punishment feels like evil to the one who's being punished, to the criminal. Everybody see it? Okay, anyway, let's continue. I think I went overboard on that. Okay, so this is famous Buddha in the Indian religion. Okay, I think everyone knows Buddha, but let's just do this anyway. So one of the things that I learned by being in Asia is that Buddhism rather, is more commonly practiced. Well, hold on. So this is Buddha, y'all. So maybe 1 or 2 generations ago, almost nobody practiced Buddhism as a religion, from what I'm told, by people in Southeast Asia. And it's only during recent times that some people practice it as a religion. But it's still uncommon. It's still uncommon. Okay, so this is the famous Buddha of the Indian religion, who, according to 6 hieroglyphic of Upham's work on Buddhism is represented as being born of a virgin from the celestial sign Virgo. Okay, so here again, we're seeing that Buddha and Jesus come from the same template. Jesus is said to be what? Born of a virgin. That's also Virgo. But all of the major religions, in fact, there are 15 or 16 solar deities. They have the same story as the Jesus Christ figure in the New Testament. The same story. So they use the same template. They use the same template. They just changed the names, the dates, the places, adjusted everything for the local, wherever they were at in the world, right? They just adjusted it, okay? All right, where Mercury has its exaltation in the 15th degree, Buddha is but one of the versions of 16 virgin-born saviors. Now, y'all, this was written in 1892. Why is it that in 2024, the vast majority of our people have no idea about this? Well, for one, they don't want you to know. And then for two, as the author told us in the prefix of the book, that this book is written to Freemasons and other secret society members, okay? All right, so Buddha is but one of the versions of 16 virgin-born saviors, or sons of God, S-O-N-S, or sons of God who dwell in the bosom of the Father. Mercury is in the bosom of the Father. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. So here we have the celestial or the solar deity messenger concept in nature, okay? All right. So let the author speak it. Say it. Buddha is one of the versions of the 16 virgin-born saviors or sons of God who dwell in the bosom of the Father, i.e., which means the nearest planet to the sun sun. The same priestly deception having existed from earliest Aryan to modern times. Okay, now this is a Freemason telling you this out of his own mouth. It is a priestly deception. This is coming from the dark priesthood. It is an intentional deception. The character of the moon. So I think, hold on. The moon section, y'all, is quite long. Well, no, it's not long, but it's like, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost 6 pages. So we might not finish the moon until another 2 or 3 live streams. So I'm gonna stop this live stream here so we can begin the class on the moon. Yeah, we'll have so let's end this class now. Shalom, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Feel free to put your comments and questions in the comment section. Hope y'all enjoyed everything. I hope you learned something. Islam to all the Moors. Shalom.